everybody, it's Stephen and Walter from the land down under, and this was our last evening here. Well, technically our last evening will be spent at the airport. That's tomorrow night. But tonight was our last night in Sydney. So what did we do today? Okay, well, you have lots of video to see. We did do a little shopping, quilt shopping. We took the, you want to get back in the picture? Oh, thank you very much. We took the ferry to Drummoyne, whatever. I'm sure we'll be corrected. Because there is a quilt store there, or as they call them here, patchwork store, called, what was it? Material Obsession. Yeah. Now, a couple of people have mentioned in passing about this place. So we thought, what the heck, let's do it. And
not only that, there was a spotlight close by.
Yes, there was a spotlight close by as well, so we wanted to go to the spotlight too. So we got over there on the ferry, and Walter, as he always does, plugs in the coordinates into his phone, into, Apple Maps. And promptly we couldn't find the place. Took us a while to walk there, but then it was locating us kind of in the middle of a roundabout. Kind of went, funny place to have a quilt store.
And then there was a dead end on one side, and I saw a picture of the outside of the place and it looked like a house.
And I said, that can't be right. But guess what? I thought it was the opposite direction from where we were at that point, because there was sort of a shopping plaza. There a big car park for it, so I figured shopping plaza can't be too far away. It was kind of hard to see this place, this burb of Sydney, this Drummoyne is kind of hilly, and there's not much there.
Every part of it, Sydney.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've never seen so many hills in my life. Next trip, flat. Okay. So, anyways, Walter insisted it was over in another spot. Well, I thought it was in this spot, but
we had a bit of an argument.
We had a little bit of argument, but he did what Walter usually does.
I said, well, I'm right.
And you're wrong. Yeah. And yes, he was right. It looked like a house.
Yeah, actually, what was funny is that, there was no prominent sign to indicate that this was a business. Now, maybe they have rules that they can't stick a sign out so that people would see. But, I mean, when we walked a little closer, we saw the sign.
And we kind of walked up the steps to the door, and it was like walking up the steps to somebody's house. And actually, I think it was a house. Yeah. But it was their store. So anyways, we walked in, and of course there was walls of fabric, so we knew we were in the right place. The lady that was working there, now she is not the owner. The owner is, we were going to look that up.
I think her first name was Kathy.
Kathy, but she's a designer of fabric. And right now, I think the lady said that she was away in the States or something. And I can't tell you for the life of me what her name is, her last name. I don't know if I've ever heard of her or not, but she had some of her fabrics that she had designed in the shop, as well as all kinds of other stuff as well. They had quite a selection, but it was definitely a rabbit's warren. You kind of went through little tiny rooms to look around. But prominently, when we walked in the front door, sitting on the shelf right across from the front door, were some Aboriginal prints. And she told us that the Aboriginal prints that they have are licensed, and part of the money goes to some sort of charitable organization that supports the Aboriginal or Indigenous people in some way. Quite frankly, I don't care. I just want the fabric. So anyways, price-wise, it was worked out to about 25 Aussie dollars a meter. And that, of course, includes tax and everything, right? So yeah, to hear that price, it sounds a little high, but
actually there are places in our area that will sell moda and stuff like that for $24 a meter.
And then there's tax.
And then there's tax on top of that.
So yeah.
And $25 a meter Australian is actually a little less than Canadian. So
yeah, it's about 23 something Canadian, I think it works out to be. So anyways, I saw that. I think I bought 5 or 6 1 meter cuts of 6 different fabrics, and Walter bought 3 3-meter cuts.
It works out to 22.31 Canadian.
Okay, so there you go. A lot less for the Americans. But anyways, yeah, so we got I got enough Australian fabric now to do me, I think, with what I already had bought at Spotlight and what Philippa brought me.
Yeah, it works out to $16.30 US.
Okay, fine. And what I have at home as well. So, and I do have a plan for it, but I haven't got the plan fully figured out yet, but I have a plan. Anyway, so we did that. And a lady that was waited on us was very nice. And I do have on the video clips today, you will see the store. I didn't take a lot of video. Well, one, it's very cramped in there. Also, another couple of ladies came in right behind us, and I felt, I'm
They
being a
seemed
little.
to give the vibe off that they were.
They gave a cold vibe.
Uncomfortable.
They're the first Australians I think I've met that I found definitely gave off a cold vibe. I don't know. Maybe
we were invading their space.
Possibly. Who knows? I don't know. But anyways, I did get some video. You'll get the sense of what the store is all about. So after we left there, we went to the shop. Not little. There are no such things we have found in Australia as small shopping centers. They're hidden away. You don't see them. They're not prominent out on a street or something like that. But you walk in and bang. It's like, whoa.
Three levels of shopping.
It's kind of like if you were to get onto Doctor Who's TARDIS. It looks like a police box from the outside. You walk in the inside and it's huge. Kind of like that. Anyways, this place was pretty big. There's some footage of it there. And there was a Spotlight, so we went in. And yep, Spotlight had some more Aboriginal fabrics, which were not at the other Spotlight. So I bought some there as well. Plus, great price because it was 30% off.
No, they had some fabrics from the other Spotlight as well that we went to.
Yeah, I know they had some too, but I picked out some that I hadn't seen at the other Spotlight because you didn't, though.
No, I found another fabric and I thought, oh, I really like this fabric. And I thought, I'm not sure if it looks like the same fabric I bought with the other Spotlight. No. And so I thought, well, I'll just buy it anyway. It turns out I did.
So I've
got 6 meters.
6 meters of that. Yep. Well, you can make his and his shirts matching. We can go as the Bobsey twins. So anyways, yeah, we looked around there. We actually had lunch in that mall. That was a mistake. We had some Chinese, takeaway kind of a thing.
It was kind of tasteless.
It wasn't that great. The stuff that we got in here in Sydney in one of the malls that's close to the hotel room was a lot better than that. But anyways, live and learn. So we trundled back to the ferry. And when I say trundled back, we were a good piece away from where the ferry docked to go to this Quilt store.
Half an hour walk.
Yeah, uphill both ways. Yeah, and I'm not exaggerating. It was uphill both ways. So we got onto the ferry, got off at what we call Barangaroo, but it's not Barangaroo. It is Barangaroo or
Barangaroo.
Yeah, so that's why we call it Bangaloo. But whatever, Barangaroo. Besides, it's more fun to say it that way. So we got off there. And that's basically down at Darling Harbor where all the touristy attractions are and food and things like that. You saw pictures of that before.
All our walking today worked out to 15 kilometers.
Yeah. Well, we've been hoofing it. I wonder what we've averaged over the time we've been here.
Oh.
A lot. We're still not getting any skinny. Sorry, I'm yawning because I am tired. But anyways, okay. So we had to lug all this stuff, and when I say we, I meant me because most of it was in my bag. And fabric's heavy. Backed up here to the hotel room, and then we decided, we would go out tonight for dinner instead of doing what we've done the last few nights, which is basically get takeaway. And go down and see the lights on Darling Harbor was like at nighttime. Sort of what Sydney looks like at night, because I don't think we've gone out at night. At night comes early here, like by 6 o'clock it's dark.
It's the fall.
It's the fall here, yeah. So we went out and we went down to Darling Harbor and we went to a supposed Greek restaurant. Tourist trappy. Food was like we We started off
We've
with
had better.
yeah, we started off with some cheesy garlic bread. That was okay. And we both ordered the chicken and lamb souvlaki. It came both with a couple of skewers of chicken, a couple of skewers of lamb, small ones on that. And it didn't come with a heck of a lot of other stuff. You got a hunk of pita bread, like slightly toasted pita bread, some tzatziki, and their version of what would have been a very sad Greek salad. Basically, a couple of chopped up cucumbers and red peppers and some onion.
Tomato.
And a tomato. Was there a tomato in that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, anyways, that's how it. Actually, it was okay. It was tasty enough and everything. I don't know if this is customary here when they serve like souvlaki. They don't serve it with rice and roast potatoes and a Greek salad. See, where we come from, that's pretty much standard. If you order souvlaki, you're going to get rice and these roasted potato and a Greek salad with it all together. Here it was just the skewers. Although, mind you, I didn't go hungry. So we ordered a bottle of wine. Actually, we got the cheapest red on their menu, which was $49, and it was a Cabernet Merlot. And it was sort of private label. It was Nick's. That's what it said with a fish on it. Always be suspicious of wines that have pictures of fish, because if you don't know this, they don't make any wine out of fish. Just saying. It wasn't horrible. It was palatable. Funny thing is, when the girl, we had table service, and that's somewhat of a rarity in Australia. Usually, as you've heard us say before, you go up to the counter, you look at a menu, you go up to a counter, you tell them what you want, you pay for it right then and there, and then they'll give you a number, or you tell them your table number, and somebody will come over and bring it to you, usually. Well, this place had table service. Well,
It could used improving.
it's not the kind of table service that we are used to in North America, right?
No.
Because they don't do table service for the most part. So what do they know? So this poor young thing brings the wine. I think she was relatively new. I don't think she really knew how to serve wine. So she kind of
Missed the glass.
well, first of all, she kind of shows me the bottle and I go, yep, okay, I don't know, it says Nick's Private, that must be it. And I tasted it. Well, she tried to pour a little, she got the screw cap off, and then she poured some in the glass and some on the table. Not a lot on the table. The poor thing was embarrassed. She said, it's okay. I said, they're kind of awkward until you get used to them or something like that. Finally, she got some of my glass to taste it. I said, yeah, that's fine, whatever. Now she says she was nervous about pouring it, but she managed to get it in the glass, so that was okay. I think she was pretty new to doing this kind of thing. But anyways, and then we had our meal and everything and paid for it. That one cost us, with the bottle of wine, what, 130 Aussie, so it worked out to about 120 something. Whatever. Here goes Walter with the calculator. Canadian. That was fine. But the funny thing was, they came to the table. We said, do we go up to the bar area to pay? Because that's often the way you do it, right? She says, oh no, I'll come with the bill. So she did, and brought the machine for tapping and everything.
It's 116.
116. Okay, there it is. 116. Well, really, that's not all bad for what we had and everything. That would be comparable to what we'd pay in Canada for the similar stuff. So anyways, it came up tip. Like if you're from North America and you're used to the machines, they automatically go to the tip section and give you a selection of percentages you can pick from. And this one did that. Now, I got caught once on that. You don't have to, nor is it expected, that you tip here in Australia, even if you get table service. And I made that mistake in another place we stopped at way back and ate in that nice, actually that was a Greek restaurant too, and food there was a lot better. And I did tip, but it flustered me because that was when I was having the trouble with the card and everything. So anyways, and somebody that lives here in Australia said, oh, you got took. you ignore that. You don't tip. Well, we ignore it this time. In fact, the girl, when she started, she said, yeah, you can use it or not use it. She said, you can skip over it if you want. So we did. We skipped over
Yeah, because here, if they don't tip, we don't even know that whatever you add to the bill will go to the server. It may just go to the restaurant.
You mean if you did tip?
If you did tip, yeah.
Yeah, you don't know who gets that money, for one thing. Plus, they're paid well.
Yeah,
Here. That's why they don't expect a tip.
Get paid very well here.
Yeah.
So, that's why they don't expect a tip, and that's why they don't usually do table service.
No.
But,
and I said to Walter, and the table service that we got at this one did not qualify, even if there was to be left a tip, did not qualify for a tip. Okay. And that's not because it was horrible. It's just how they do things here. They're not used to it. They're just not used to it. So, that's the way it goes.
And see, the thing is, what may have come up there too, is that the area that you're reading in is a touristy area. They get a lot of cruise ships in Sydney. And so they dump out all these Americans and everything else onto the cruise ship. And people from North America are on the cruise ship. And then they'll end up going to one of these restaurants, and since they're used to tipping, they will tip, right? And that's a nice bonus for these restaurants, right?
I mean, I don't want to say that it's necessarily a scam, but, it's kind of like, well, if you don't know, buyer beware kind of a thing. So, yeah. So then we decided we'd walk down to the harbor in around Circular Quay. That's where the opera house is and everything, see it at night. And last night, because of, and I'm sure everybody now that's watching this has heard about the massacre, as they call it here, and it was, at the Bondi shopping center, where, what was it, total count was 7 people were killed.
I think it was 6 people.
Was it 6? And, there was 8 or so or something put in the hospitals, ranging from, minor to critical care and that kind of thing. And the baby that got stabbed, and the mother of the baby who was stabbed and died as well. And this is, this is all that's on the TV here in Sydney. And so they were putting up to honor the victims of this. Last night, the Sydney Opera House was lit up, and they had projected onto one of the big sails of the Opera House a black ribbon. And we saw it on TV last night, but we thought, okay, well, we'll go see that tonight, because that's kind of unique. No, nothing. They did one day. They had the flags at half-mast, and they had the black ribbon up, and that was it, one day. And yet they're talking about this being, and it is, I'm not trying to belittle the situation, because it is a serious situation, but they said they haven't had anything that bad in 10 years or more. And people were shocked and are going through stress with it and everything like that. You'd think they might have done it for a little bit more.
I would have thought it'd be up for a week or something.
Yeah. It seemed very strange to me. Now, I'm sure they're probably going to have, they're talking about having a permanent memorial put up about this and the whole bit at some time in the future, but it just seemed kind of strange to me. I thought for sure it'd be more than one night. But that's the way it's done here, I guess. Whatever. But they had another problem, big one, another stabbing. A priest in some sort of church. We are not clear, we saw pictures. They got it, I guess they were live streaming the service. And this was last night?
I'm not sure,
or something like this. And some young lad walked up to the priest during the service and stabbed him multiple times. He is in the hospital. He will survive. But on top of it all, then all the congregation in that plunged on the guy who did it. They got him. The cops came. Paramedics came. The cops came. And suddenly all these people who are followers of this particular priest, he seems to be well liked. I don't know. It's a Christian religion, and I forget what they call the church. But the priest wore a robe with a hood on his head, and I think it might have had something to do they might have been Christian Sumerians. Sumerians? So,
I'm not sure.
what are they? I don't know. Because here's the problem. It was all over the news. They rioted. All of these followers of the church who had seen it on the live stream all congregated outside of the church, and the cops threw in their paramedics, and they started a riot. They damaged 20 cop cars. The paramedics were so afraid for their lives, they barricaded themselves inside the church when they were there trying to help the people that had been
Yeah, but
hurt.
it was unclear what motivated, like
Yeah.
why they were doing this.
Why they were doing it. And the news didn't say why this had happened. Like, why their people were protesting if they were supporting this. What did they want to do? Grab the guy and pull him apart? There, a public stoning or whatever? I mean, he probably deserved it, but I don't know. We still don't understand. But anyways, and then there was a comment made earlier today when we were in the fabric store. The lady said something about, we said where we were from and all this, and this was sort of our last day here, and we were flying back to Canada. She says, sorry, you kind of picked the wrong time to be here. Well, I assumed she was talking about the Bondi. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Bondi, whatever. Massacre thing. And then when we got back to the room and turned on the news and found out about this other one, so she was probably talking about that too, because these were both things that don't usually happen here, and two of them in a row. Mm-hmm. And anyways, they're talking about a stronger police presence now while this has been going on out on the streets and things like that. So we didn't see any of that tonight when we were walking around, so I don't know. But yeah, so maybe it is time for us to leave Sydney with it.
No, but we did see a lot of people bundled up because it was freezing cold here. It was 20 degrees.
Yeah, it was 20 degrees tonight, and there were people wearing ski jackets. Yeah.
Ski jackets, and it was 20 degrees Celsius. So what's 20 degrees Celsius?
Well, 20 times 40 is 70 degrees.
Yeah.
So Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it's at 70 degrees Fahrenheit. People were wearing parkas.
Don't think they'd survive in our climate, but whatever you're used to, kind of a thing. It's just
we were wearing shorts and short sleeve shirts.
Well, they knew we were tourists from a warmer or from a colder climate. I guess.
Not only that, it was humid too.
Yeah, it was. It's a little sticky, but yeah. So let's see. That's about all we did today. So what's the plan tomorrow? Getting out of Sydney.
Well, we got the hotel kicks us out at 10. So we're going to take the car to the airport. I'm going to dump the car off the airport, and we've got a hotel at the airport for the night, for tomorrow night, so that we have to be at the airport at 20 after 5. So
in the morning.
Yeah.
They want you to be there 4 hours before departure. So yeah, so tomorrow begins the long 2-day, 3-day journey back home. Because essentially we'll be trapped at the airport for who knows how long before we get on the plane. I mean, the night before, there's not a hell of a lot to do at the airport. So, we've got a spare bottle of wine. We'll drink that. Whatever. And yeah. I'm kind of looking forward to getting back home and get back into the routine of things. But on the other hand, I'm kind of...
We're sitting outside. It's nice. It's warm.
We go back home. It's going to be miserable.
It's a nice atmosphere. And we're going, I know the minute we go home, we're going to miss it here.
Yeah. So, and I'm just dreading the flight. I'm hoping I'm going to be so tired that I actually will sleep. It makes the time go by a lot faster if you can sleep. But we'll see. And who knows, the planes have been running slightly late because of a screw up in Toronto a few days ago. But I think we talked about that. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that's okay. If it's a little late, I can live through that. Just hope it's not something else or a major problem or whatever, because you can't trust the air travel people. You can't trust them. they screw around with you. So anyways, that was pretty much today. Anything else? Think of anything else? When we do get home and when we do our next Stephen and Walter Live regular one, which will probably be this coming Sunday, we'll do a recap of our highs and lows of our trip to Australia this time. You know, things that we really liked and things we find a little bit different, and why those might be different, and some other things too. So yeah, that'll be this coming Sunday, which is, I'm so screwed up on my dates. What's today, the 16th? April 16th.
Tuesday, 16th, 17th,
Wednesday,
18th, 19th is Friday.
It'll be 20th.
20th.
No,
is
21st.
Saturday, 21st.
Yeah, 21st. And so be sure to tune into that. We may do another little shorty video from the hotel room in the airport tomorrow night as well. And yeah, so here's the video clips for today. Not a lot of them. Okay, we're back on the ferry to start the day off today. This is our last full day really here, where we don't have to do anything about getting home yet. That all comes tomorrow and the day after. And so we are off to some place called, what's it called? Drumamoy
Drummond or something.
Drumamoy or something like that. And why are we going there, Walter?
We're going to attempt to go to a quilt shop.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have original fabric or not, but we're going to go. So.
We're going anyways. It's a new place to see, and there's something else there. There's a shopping center there too.
There's a spotlight there.
Oh, there's a spotlight, yeah. So we'll go to Spotlight again. I don't imagine you're going to see much in Spotlight because they probably have the same stuff as the other one, but you never know. So this is the burb of Drumoyne, and looks very sleepy right now. This is residential here, and we're just walking our way to the possibility of a quilt store. We don't really know. It's called Material Obsession. One of the subscribers has mentioned it, and I think they were asking us if that's where we were headed, and yes it is. See what we will see. We're also in a flight zone from the airport, so it's like this is planes overhead all the time, which I guess you'd get used to it if you lived here, the sound. Okay, so we're in Drumoyne. Downtown core down there. There's a Mackers behind us. Okay, we're in Material Obsession. It was a little tricky to find, but here it is.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going back home tomorrow, but we were taking the ferry up to Parramatta yesterday, and then I was looking up at quilt stores around here, and I saw this one.
And this is the latest major only came out about
Okay, so
last
this is
week or the week.
her fabric.
That's
her
hers.
fabric, so not that striped one, but those ones there.
Okay.
And these ones here. And these are two kits that are made up in those.
Okay, great.
That's just what they're.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So let me know if I can help you with anything.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'll just step past you.
thanks.
You just hop around.
It's a little rabbit's warren in here. So, okay. So let's go to the back and work our way forward. Aboriginal stuff is here. Oh, oops, I'm kicking over stuff. Sorry about that, y'all took a dip with me. So there's Aboriginal fabrics right there. And I see a couple that I may purchase.
Yes, that's
some
very
down there too. Okay, but let's check out what's in behind too. So it goes down this little hallway, and there's more at the back. You saw that we were in one room. And these are their own patterns.
That's okay.
Excuse me. It's okay.
Don't want to get you on camera.
No. Have lots of nice bright colors. Look like they got some cave as well. I think some of that is cave right up there.
No, it's not a good bag.
Yeah.
It's not a good shape, is it?
So
But it's rather
that's what
cute.
the store's like. We're gonna buy some. Okay, so we're now in the mall here in Des Moines, and there's a spotlight over here, and we're going there. But it's a fairly large mall here too.
It's open at the end.
Yeah, see, it's open at the very end, if you can see. And we're up on about the 3rd level, I think. So we're in the food court of this mall. This, I forget what this place is called, Birkenhead or something. Anyways, I think it's Birkenhead Point Mall. And we're in the food court. We just had some.
Oh, see, mine now says
What's that?
mine now says I have 975 on it.
Okay.
Well, it had 8 something on it earlier when I checked it.
Okay, we're fooling around with these Opal cards right now, trying to top them up. That's what you use to get on the ferry. And our cards were low, so we thought we'd top them up so we'd have enough to get back. And I don't know, it's giving us mixed messages as to how much we really have on these cards. So anyways, they may throw us overboard when we get on to swim to shore. We'll see. But anyways, this is the food court area. Can't get much of a shot of it here, but it gives you a little bit of an idea. And we had Chinese, which was mediocre. Yeah, Walter says,
I
yeah,
couldn't eat it all.
he couldn't eat it all. I didn't mind what I had, but it was still not the best. But, you know, mall food. What do you expect? Okay, you see that brown roof right there? That's where the store was. Obsession, material obsession. That is why we had trouble finding it. Because the GPS stopped us right here on this traffic circle. But you saw inside, so I guess it was worth it. We found it, we got stuff, so we're good. So we're still in, what is it, Des Moines? And I don't know, oh, this date, it says 1990, 1890. So just some interesting old houses here along this part of the stretch as we make our way back to the ferry. Yeah, right now it's downhill, but it's not going to last because it will be uphill again. Up and down, up and down. Next trip, Holland, flat. Some more of the older homes in this district. Okay, so here are the fabrics that we bought today at Material Obsession and at Spotlight. And the ones at the top here are the ones that I bought. As you can see, all Aboriginal prints. All quite very nice. They were about 20, well, the ones from Obsession, Material Obsession, they were about $27 a meter. And the ones at Spotlight were actually on sale, 30% off, but I think their original price was something like $25 a meter. So that wasn't too bad. When you start to figure in the exchange, there's no tax because all of that is built into those prices as well. So we get about 15% less off of that. So that was okay. And these are the ones that Walter bought. He bought 3 meters of each. I only bought 1 meter of each. Of course, all for potential shirts, which I think will make really nice shirts as well. So yeah, we got our Australian fabrics for sure. So this is our last dinner here in Australia, our last night out. So we thought we'd go out to someplace nice. And so we're down on Darling Harbour, as you can see. It's just dusk right now. And we're in a sort of a Greek restaurant. We just had some cheesy garlic bread and we're having the chicken and lamb souvlaki. And we got a bottle of wine. It's a Cabernet Merlot. It's a private label. This place is called...
The cheapest one.
Yeah, it's called Nick's, but the restaurant's not called Nick's.
Nick's is next door. Maybe
Nick's
they
is-
own everything.
Maybe Nick owns everything. We're not really sure. But, and then we'll think we're going to wander down to see the lights on the Sydney Opera House, and they have the big display of, they have the black ribbon to, you know, honor the people that were killed in the Bondi Mall massacre and things like that. So we'll see that.
Is they get the Americans.
Yeah. No, we were just talking about that restaurant we were just in, and they brought over the credit machine, and she said, "Oh, you can enter a tip or just skip it." And the thing is, that's a little bit of a racket with some of these tourist area restaurants here, because in Australia, tipping isn't expected. They are paid quite well to be servers here. It's not like in the States, especially, where they get paid next to nothing, so tips is part of it. And even in our own country, in Canada, there's a certain degree of expectation that you're going to tip, but not here. You don't have to. So if you come here, and you're going to feel bad about it, you are. But first of all, the service we're used to in North America that earns a tip, this isn't at that caliber here, okay? Because they don't do it here. I mean, that's nothing against them. That's just how it works here. So don't ever get sucked into adding more money on for a tip to your bill, because I did it once when we were here, and one of the locals here told me, yeah, you kind of got, I didn't really get scammed, but if you're not in the know, you know, you don't need to do it. You don't need to do it. And considering that food prices here in restaurants are, well, anywhere you go in the world, the prices on restaurants for food is expensive these days. So
But actually here, if you look at the food prices here, you think that you're paying a lot more than what you're paying at home. But actually, if you figure out that it includes tax and tip,
yeah,
it works out to about the same.
it works out to about the same, we thought, but yeah. So Sydney by night, looking at part of the city from the harbor, from Darling Harbor. And that's actually what they consider, they call that area Barangaroo. How do you say it?
Barangaroo.
We call it Bangaroo, but it's not Bangaroo. It's Bangalore. Barangaroo. Whatever. I like Bangaroo better. It sounds funny. Sydney by night. Now we saw this during the day at one point in time earlier when we were here, but now this is what it looks like at night. That's a complete pixel series of screens doing that inside an office building. And here comes the trolley. Okay, I have to be very quick about these pictures I take down here right now, because there's a guy playing his guitar and I'll get demonetized if the music starts up again. That's why there's some stills. But here I'm taking advantage of it now, and there's the Opera House by night. Now, we missed it. Last night they projected a big black bowl on this in commemoration of the massacre at the Bondi Mall.